What ho chaps, how the devil. This is an absolute cracker. I've got a cracking story for you today. The thing that fascinates me most of all about this one, absolutely stuns me. I would be less stunned if Jesus Christ himself marched into my house right now, booted the door off its hinges, stormed into my living room and said, "Alright mate, any chance of a wank?" That's how surprised I am, right? I'm astounded that The Guardian thinks that reporting a story in the negative about murderers, nonces and rapists is going to be good for their reputation. Astounded. Right, if you haven't heard about this, you must have been living under a rock. But the short version is, right, in the UK, they only deport people who are foreign criminals automatically as a matter of course if they do over a year in jail. You could argue that that's a little bit lax, because there's a lot of offences you won't do a year in jail for, and they're a big risk to the public. Things like burglary, for example, you typically don't serve a year in jail for that. And that's an awful crime. It ruins people's lives and it makes them extremely distressed, especially women and the elderly. So you could argue that that's a bit lax. But again, we're a liberal democracy. I'm sure we'll take steps to address that if we feel the need as voters. Let's just say we aren't unhappy with that and we just think the year is a decent line in the sand. Surely, I don't know what percentage of the country thinks that it's acceptable to deport foreign criminals who've spent over a year in prison. But I'm assuming it's the vast majority. Right, maybe I'm giving them too much credit. I would say it's probably 75% of the Labour Party voters, right? Surely. And 95% of the Conservative Party voters. SNP, probably not, but again, we know how it works in Scotland. They don't know whether they're fucking coming or going, them lads. The Scottish Numpty Party, they do not know. They don't know what fucking day of the week it is, them. But yeah, suicide if you ask me. Home Office proceeds with disputed Jamaican deportation flight. 13 of 50 due to be deported put on controversial flight despite campaigns to prevent it. So it's all in the negative. Controversial, despite, I mean fucking hell. Let's just read what they've done, shall we? It says the Home Office deported 13 men on a controversial if you're so open-minded your fucking brains fell out. Yeah, only controversial to you if that is the case. But a significant number of other offenders were granted a last-minute reprieve. Documents lodged in the High Court by the Home Office stated that its intention was to remove as many as 50 Jamaican nationals, but only a fraction boarded the flight. The Home Office Minister for Immigration, Chris Phillip, said the flight was removed 13 serious foreign criminals from the UK. A number of others were granted a reprieve after the ministry acknowledged they may have been victims. No, the people that they donkeyed one into, shot, stabbed, burgled or raped, yet they're the ones that were victims. Don't tell me that the criminals are victims. I keep going on about it, yeah, up is down, left is right, postmodernist commie society we live in, right, up is fucking down. Don't tell me that murderers, rapists and drug dealers are victims. Don't even do it. It's offensive to anybody who has some regard for reality. Right, and I think most people have at least some regard for reality, don't they? Maybe they don't. Maybe it's just me. Controversial fucker that I am. I care about reality. Christ on a bike. Obviously, 82 public figures come out to defend these fucking people. Why does Naomi Campbell want to defend rapists? Tell me why. Tell me. Is it because there's some sort of insane race warrior and they think because they happen to look a bit like me therefore I should defend them? Because I think that's a bit fucking crazy and it's very, very racist. Like, you're obsessed with race, aren't you? You don't see Whitey coming out and going, oh yeah, Ian Huntley, I mean he's the same colour as me so he must be a good lad really, he must be sound. Fred West, Harold Chipman, let them all out, they're all fucking good lads, although fortunately those last two are dead, but you know what my point is. We don't do it, do we? Pasty, blue-eyed arseholes like me, we don't stick up for people based on their skin colour. As far as I'm concerned, Ian can rot for the rest of his days behind bars. I'm not going to defend the guy because he happened to originate in roughly the same geographic location that I did. Christ almighty. They said the flight was unlawful, unjust and racist. They're all criminals, foreign criminals. Have we not got enough Mick Philpotts of our own to fucking deal with without importing criminals from the rest of the world? It said a last-ditch legal attempt by 2 children to prevent those. The flight also failed. 2 siblings said that they can't deport Daddy. Well, first of all, don't tell me you ever saw fucking Daddy, right? Don't tell me drug dealers, rapists and fucking pimps and pushers are spending a lot of quality time with the kids. What was he doing? Taking them to the park every Saturday? You think I'm a fucking idiot? So a paltry 12 out of 50 got deported, and they're making out like this is a fucking travesty of justice. Unbelievable. Oh no, 13 serious criminals. He said it is disappointing that the immigration law firms continue to use last-minute tactics to remove them from the flight. These individuals had every opportunity to raise their claims in the days and weeks leading up to the flight. A significant number of them were not submitted, meaning some murderers and rapists were allowed to stay in the UK. Unfucking believable. You have to laugh, don't you? You have to laugh. Just listen, do your due diligence, take care of yourselves. If you're a young, slight woman or a particularly slender man, slender and attractive man, don't go out by yourself. Don't take any risks. Do your due diligence, always take care of yourselves, and just cackle maniacally at this stuff now. Because you have to laugh. If you didn't laugh, you'd fucking cry. Unbelievable. Let me know what you think of this. To me, this is the Guardian just saying, signing their own death warrant. And you might not believe this, ladies and gents, you might not believe it, but even the Labour Party themselves, defending rapists and murderers to stay in the UK. I shit you not, ladies and gentlemen. Priti Patel slams Labour MPs for re-traumatising victims by blocking deportations. Norwich South MP Clive Lewis coordinated a letter from nearly 70 MPs and peers demanding a deportation flight be stopped. Of convicted criminals, remember, be stopped. Despite their protest, the flight took off with a paltry 13. So 70 MPs, Labour, delusional, deranged, pro-rape and murder Labour MPs. They tried to stop this and they succeeded in getting fucking 75% of them back off the plane, back on the streets in Britain. Rapists, murderers, drug dealers, the fucking lot. Miss Patel described Labour's letter demanding the flight be cancelled as the one which had caused her the most concern and distress. Removing those from the country who have caused harm, served their sentence and now have no right to remain is just one way in which a responsible government acts to keep its people safe. I would encourage you to reconsider your position. Unbelievable. She was imploring Labour to consider the victims of these criminals' shameful offences. So there you go, honestly. I don't know what else to say about that. Norwich South MP Clive Lewis. This man is pro-rapist, right? Pro-murderer. If your wives, daughters, family members happen to be the victim of a foreign criminal who came into the country illegally, murdered someone, raped someone, drug pushers, pimps, burglars, anything, Clive Lewis will defend them to the hilt because he is pro-foreign criminal. Unbelievable. Are you going to vote for him? Clive, you have signed your death warrant, my man. Committed political suicide, you balmy bastard. Let me know what you think of Clive. I'd fucking love some feedback on this one. Thanks for listening, guys. Cheers.